Time now for Focus. Today we have a report on the downfall of Toshiba, one of Japan's greatest industrial names. On Tuesday, the company said its future was in doubt because of losses associated with its troubled American nuclear power subsidiary. From Tokyo, Marie Linton and Justin McCurry report.
An extraordinary general meeting of Toshiba shareholders, but it feels more like a wake. In an attempt to cover losses at its US nuclear unit and perhaps keep Toshiba in business, the Japanese firm's shareholders reluctantly accept a proposal to sell its flagship flash memory business. It was a tough decision. Toshiba takes pride in being the world's second biggest producer of the components. Yasuyuki Niwa, a Toshiba employee and shareholder, finds it hard to believe it's come to this.
Memory chips are Toshiba's most profitable business. In fact, it's the only thing the company had left. I decided to invest in Toshiba because I'm an employee, but also because it's a big Japanese company. I never thought something like this would happen.
As the firm behind all manner of household appliances, Toshiba is synonymous with Japan's post-war drive towards modernity and convenience. In stark contrast to the pessimism surrounding the current crisis, the Toshiba Science Museum is a reminder of better days for the 142-year-old company.
Before this washing machine came on the market, people in Japan had to do their laundry by hand in wooden buckets. These days, Toshiba is best known for its computers, TVs, and semiconductors.
Toshiba's troubles go back to 2008, when it hid huge losses incurred during the global financial crisis. Masashi Goto, who worked as a nuclear engineer at Toshiba for 20 years, blames the company's problems on its top-down management style.
Toshiba's senior management did everything they could to ensure that the company's losses were not disclosed. They pressured junior employees to take part in the cover-up. Some employees disagreed with them, but they were in no position to defy their bosses.
Toshiba's not the only Japanese company to have become embroiled in scandals. Olympus, the camera maker, covered up €1 billion in losses several years ago. But Toshiba's troubles run much deeper. The firm's stock has plummeted since late last year when it announced billions of dollars of losses at its nuclear unit in the US, Westinghouse Electric. Last month, Westinghouse filed for bankruptcy due to the huge cost of overruns at 4 nuclear reactors under construction in the US.
Until now, Toshiba mainly built nuclear reactors here in Japan, and this was its first big project abroad. So Toshiba took a significant risk. Besides, I think that even before the Fukushima accident, it was a mistake to bet everything on nuclear energy.
Some analysts believe Toshiba will stay afloat, but survival will come at a price.
Since Toshiba sold its memory business and its nuclear activities abroad, the company has lost about 3/4 of its revenue. Its turnover decreased dramatically. Toshiba will not be able to revive unless it first improves its financial situation. That means that it must sell its flash memory business at the highest price.
Coming just a year after Taiwan's Foxconn bought Japanese consumer electronics maker Sharp, Toshiba's unfolding crisis is yet more proof that faced with severe competition from other countries in the region, Japan's tech giants have seen better days.
To discuss this further, I'm joined in the studio now from Asia Centre by Jean-Yves Collin. Hello, thank you very much for coming in. Now, So, as we understood from that report, Toshiba, because of its financial troubles then, is going to be selling off shares in its chip business. Where are the bidders from? Which countries? And who are these potential investors?
Basically, the bidders come from Asia. Taiwan, companies like Foxconn, or Korea, companies like Hynix, or also maybe Chinese companies. But I think the game will be between a Korean company and a Taiwanese company.
What makes you say that?
Because there is no other makers in the world. All makers are in Asia. That's all. The first one I think is Hynix, the Korean company. you have to remind also that Hynix was in deep trouble in the 90s, but has been saved by the Korean government. Is now in good financial situation. And Foxconn is known in Japan because it bought Sharp very recently.
Speaking of being saved by the government, I mean, there are reports of the government, the Japanese government, perhaps putting together a team Japan offer. Do you know anything about this? Is that a real?
Well, it's a rumor. I don't know exactly things about that, but obviously the memory business of Toshiba is an important business and a strategic business for the Japanese government, at least for the self-defense forces and also for the space or aircraft industry. So the Japanese government cannot stay idle. I don't think that the Japanese government will nationalize this part of business, but I think that the Japanese government will try to find a solution through, let's say, the Japan Development Bank, some special funds which are publicly owned, but it will be a big embarrassment, and maybe it's running against time because Westinghouse is a big hurdle for Toshiba. Toshiba has about a year to deal with Westinghouse issue, but is also running short in terms of liquid assets. And the net equity of Toshiba is now minus $2 billion. So time is just running away from the government.
So when you say embarrassment, then it's not just a financial issue, it's also a national pride issue.
Well, of course. It's already when Sharp was bought by Foxconn, it was a kind of humiliation for the Japanese industry. When you see the top business models of Japan, like Sharp or Toshiba, being courted by Korean, Taiwanese, or Chinese company, the national pride is at stake, as it will be at stake in Korea if a Korean company is bought by another foreign company.
Now, if we talk about the figures, Toshiba reported a loss of $4.8 billion from April to December, but the results haven't been approved by its auditors. How unusual is that? And what does it say?
It's quite very unusual. First of all, they already changed the auditors' companies about 2 years ago when the scandal appeared in the press and in the public. So now it's PricewaterhouseCoopers. And they delayed the announcement of financial accounts for twice, and now the third time they publish the account without the approval. So it's quite shocking in financial terms. And as you may have noticed, the TSE, the Tokyo Stock Exchange, has organized a kind of special committee to review the Toshiba situation and maybe to unlist Toshiba from the stock exchange. So it's an important matter for Toshiba and the Japanese financial community.
We've run out of time, but just in one word, do you think the company will end up being okay? Surviving?
Maybe surviving, but it will be a lean company, if I may say.
All right, thank you very much indeed for your time and your analysis. Jean-Yves Collin from Asia Centre. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I'll be back at the top of the hour with a full news roundup.